through the gates of hell, as we make our way to heaven through the Nazi lines. Viva Victoria!
So Joakim, can you tell us a little bit how was it so far on tour with Helviti and Wisdom?
Oh, it's been great actually. I mean, we've been on the road for quite some time now. We actually started out in September together. First show was in Hanover, and then we did basically all of, Western and Northern Europe until, I can't remember when. We had a short break over Christmas, and then we went to Australia with Nightwish, and then we did an American tour, and then now we started in Southern Europe and Eastern Europe again since 1st of March. So I guess we actually made a calculation that I'll be back home again in the 1st of April, and by then I would have been in Sweden for 11 days this year. So.
Awesome. Yeah. And you are here in Croatia for the 3rd time. You played here 3 times so far, and what do you think about fans here in Croatia?
Crazy.
About our country in general?
I haven't seen much of the country in general. Unfortunately, it's only been, getting in here to Zagreb and doing the show, and we get out, because there's always, didn't see much of the city either. I do remember there's a crazy good fans, for the shows here, but I'm afraid that's all I've ever seen. The only time I spent, outside of the venue was just across the street with some people from the fan club.
And we know that there have been some lineup changes before this tour. So how were accepted these new band members by the fans?
I mean, they've been in the band almost a year by now. I mean, we started touring on the 15th of April last year, actually. So it's been announced officially now that they've been in the band actually for a year, but they haven't been playing with us for a year. And people were very suspicious in the beginning, which is a natural reaction. But as soon as we started the American tour, people saw YouTube video clips and stuff like that. It calmed down in a quite decent way, actually. Most people were, I must say, we thought there would be more people saying, no, I will have none of this. But most people were actually cool enough to say, okay, I'll give the new boys a chance. I'll go and see them, And most people have been saying, oh, they are as good as Richard and Oscar or even better, the guitarist. So it was quite a nice. I didn't expect so many people to be so open-minded about it. And I mean, to be fair to the new boys as well, I mean, when we were the old boys starting out in the same hometown, we weren't the best musicians in town, so we had to learn each other how to play all the time. And then when we're, 12 years later, we changed the lineup. And we were an established band, we could pick really, really good musicians who knew what they were doing. So they came in with an advantage as well,
So your last album, Carlos Rex, was really successful. It was like gold in Sweden, Poland, and many other countries in Europe. So how do you feel about that? You were also nominated for Grammy. How do you feel about that? Because today we know the situation, the albums do not sell very well.
No, I mean, let's just say a gold album today, you don't need to sell as many as you did 10 years ago. I'm really happy that so many people, because these things still matter, and that so many people actually support the band, which they actually do, by actually buying the albums. But when it comes to the Grammys, I couldn't care fucking less, because that's a jury, and they don't care about metal. We've been nominated 3 times, and we never won, and we never will, because we never, go along with their things they want. Oh, you must come to the Grammy Awards, or you must send us a video. Like, fuck off, I mean, I'm happy if we win an audience award, we're the audience choice. Then I'm really happy. Or, or about the success of Carlos Rex, we're very happy with the album, and I hope those people who actually bought it are happy as well. But I couldn't actually care less about these fucking Grammys and shits,
So Carlos Rex is a conceptual album.
Yeah.
And can you describe a little bit shortly what are the lyrics about?
Yeah, actually it starts out with a crazy fucking dream. This small shitty country up north, called Sweden. And It's actually the rise and fall of the Swedish Empire. It's about a 100-year journey, approximately. It starts out with Gustavus Adolphus II. He is actually challenging, the Holy Roman Empire in its, lost death threat in the early 1600s. And he's in that part of Europe at that time seen a little bit as the protector of the Lutheran faith against the Catholics. So he goes down to Germany, many people see him not as a conqueror but as a savior. And he goes through what happens, in Northern Europe mostly, from the early 1600s through Gustavus Adolphus II, his daughter Christina, who becomes a big scandal because when she's queen, she leaves the throne and goes and becomes a Catholic. It's really a scandal because her father was the protector of the Lutheran faith. And her cousin, I believe it is crowned king, Charles X. It's also the same guy who used to be a general and plundered Prague. Then we go into Charles XI, and that's when the Swedish army established the Carolingian, the style of fighting the Carolingian soldiers. Very strict on discipline, and religion was an insane part of it as well. Goes further into, Charles XII, Carolus Rex. Megalomaniac, crazy guy. He said no to women, alcohol, everything. He left Stockholm at the age of 17, I think. And when he came back to Stockholm, he was dead. Okay. So it's quite kind of an interesting story. Of course, it's not the most important story in the world to tell because it didn't involve the whole world in the same way as World War II did. But I think it's quite an interesting story that are being forgotten these days.
What is to me interesting about this album is that it's in two versions, in English and Swedish.
Yeah.
Many bands from Sweden, I have noticed that they do not record many of their albums in Swedish. So, what affected your decision to do that?
Oh,
it's interesting.
I think it was mainly because it was about Sweden. For us, it would not make any idea. I mean, if we are singing, the Nazis fighting the Soviets, what's the point in singing in Swedish? But this is about our history, Swedish history. So we thought, if we're ever going to do it, we're going to do it now. And it actually started with me having a pre-production. When I'm writing the music, I always I program drums, play the bass, guitar, and the keyboard, and sing everything, so the band could hear it. The good song or a bad song. And on the song that became Long Live the King, I had the chorus in Swedish, because the words came to me. And they said, it's kind of cool when it's in Swedish. I said, yeah, maybe we should do, the chorus in Swedish. Me and Per are drinking a few beers, and I was like, maybe we should do a whole song in Swedish. And I'm like, oh no, let's do the whole album in Swedish. Which turned out to be a lot of work, because we only had the studio time booked for one version. So we had to do all the choirs. I mean, we have a lot of those, both male and female choirs, and my lead vocals, everything has to be squeezed in onto the same time we needed to make one album. So it was very long singing sessions.
Yes, you're on tour with a Snowy Show.
Yes.
Am I right? So how did you come to that collaboration?
Oh, actually our drummer Robert he's having a baby and he loves playing heavy metal. So he's out, playing with all kinds of bands all the time. He's always been like that, he can't stay at home. On the other hand, with our schedule, as I said, I've been in Sweden for, between 1st of January and 1st of April I would have been in Sweden for, 12 or 11 days or something like that. The same would be that for him. So it's kind of hard when you has a daughter that's 3 or 4 months old and being away from her such a long time. So we'll see how long time he wants to stay home, and Snowy promised to stick around for a while longer as well. So it's going to be fun. And I really think he's one of the best drummers for this kind of music in the world. And it was very different playing with him, because it has a very different style from most of the other drummers I played with. So in the beginning it was kind of hard to adapt to it, but it took us a few rehearsals and a few shows, and then bam. You'll see tonight, trust me. You will see tonight.
Great. And tell us a little bit about your future plans.
Yeah.
There will be a DVD,
yes.
Right? So tell us something.
It's recorded in Poland, the main feature for this one, on Pristonic Woodstock. Massive festival, 600,000 people saw the show. And so it's insanely big. We have pyros, you know, fireworks even, because the pyros, normal pyros are too small, so we use big fucking fireworks instead, you know. And that is one part, and then we also had some recordings. The plan, I can't promise exactly what it's going to be. We recorded also London, Oberhausen in Germany, in Gothenburg, for the DVD. So hopefully there's going to be a mix of that. We also have some backstage material because we never did a proper DVD. There was one added to our live album, but we think when we do a DVD, we better make sure it's the motherfucker of all DVDs, you know. And the plan is for that to come out probably second half this year, sometime.
Great.
We'll be touring right now up until late March, early April. Short break where I actually will be starting to, you know, write songs and set things up. A breathing pause since we've been touring so hard. Then we go out and do festival summer. I think we have 6 or 7 shows with Maiden this summer. And we go on doing festivals and single shows until early September, I think. And then I'll take a short break, because then I know I'll be tired of playing Carlos Lex 5 times a week, you know. And I know I am usually tired with music for, I think I never want to hear music for 6 months again. But it takes me 6 days, and then I get bored, so I start doing music. And that's when I actually start gathering the stuff up I have for the album. So there will be, I think there should be a new Sabaton album out first half of 2014. That's the plan at least.
We can hardly wait. Awesome. So yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.